This video is about what I did to get my clothes dryer working when it wasn't heating. It's a diagnostic video. Take care to follow all your safety procedures. This is the dryer that I have. It's old, but it still works. And I thought, well, it's probably something easy. So I'll just go through and figure out what's wrong. I have the circuit diagram, and I thought, well, let me just first take a look at what it's doing to see, maybe I can see what's going on. So I took this panel off. To get the panel off, you stick a flat blade screwdriver in there, and you just lower that clip, that black clip. You got to eyeball it in there and put your screwdriver on the clip and push down, and it pops out like this. And I'll show you the shape of that clip. You just got to push down on that springy thing, and you do that on the other side, and then you can have a look at what's going on here. I was actually hopeful that I would be able to solve this without pulling the dryer out because it's a pain in the neck. Anyway, this is the gas valve, and back here is the igniter. And then on the other side there, where it's behind the spring there, you'll see it in a second, this is the flame sensor. And I had to replace that once. So I kind of knew my way around down here. And then you got the power going to this. There's the flame sensor. And that bottom, we're gonna clip onto the bottom of that flame sensor in a little while. But there's two power wires coming in, the hot and the neutral. And those power all of the things down here in this area of the dryer. So the gas valve and whatever. So I thought, well, let me just see what's going on down there. So I ran the dryer, and normally what would happen now is the igniter would come on, it would glow orange, and then after a little while, then the gas valve would click in and gas would become shooting out down there. So, but the gas, and there's the igniter, and then this is the where the flame comes out. And that didn't occur, so I figured, well, let's see what's going on this chart. So we should be getting current at the flame sensor, and so I was suspecting that we probably weren't. So I clicked I clipped onto the blue side here of this flame sensor, which should have had voltage, and I hooked into my multimeter here and set it to 200 volts, and I should see 122 volts or whatever if I put the other side of the tester to a ground. So pick up the ground and touch a ground here, and we're getting kind of nothing and nothing-ish, so we're definitely not getting what we expect. It sort of settles on zero when you don't touch anything. When you do touch something, it tends to go to a very small voltage, but it's basically nothing. So we're not getting the voltage we expect here. So so let's go back here. I suspect that we do have it here on the other side of all these fuses and thermostats and things. So in order to do that, you got to take the control panel thing off. I don't suppose you would have to do this, but I was trying. Like I said, I didn't want to pull it out because the connection to the thing is difficult. Connection to the outdoors is difficult. So anyway, there's that red wire we're talking about, and I'll just put my tester in there, probe in there, and see if we're getting voltage there, which I suspect we are because I can hear the timer making this moment. But yeah, so we got power there. So what we're up against here are some of these thermostats, and I figured I'd just see what the parts were because I wasn't sure what those parts actually looked like. So this is what the fuse looks like, and I suspect that that's probably it at this point. But I figured I want to see what the other things look like, and I want to just identify them. So that's what I found. So I stuck some cardboard under there, and so I didn't scratch up the floor too bad, and pulled the dryer out, and pulled it away from the connection. And I had the back off of this already. I did that for kind of show, because I've dusted it off a little bit so you could see better. So there's that one diffuse thing, the high temperature thing, and then there's another. There are others. So there's our three devices that are in between, where we know we have power and we know we're not getting power. So I want to test that first thing there. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick my meter on that. So on the hot side of that meter, I suspect we'll for sure have that voltage, and we do 121 point something, so that's expected. And on the bottom side of this, I would expect if this thing weren't open, that I would get voltage. And but I suspect that, well, I know already because I'm just narrating this after the fact. Yeah, so we go to this, and when we're testing the other side of that, we're not getting any voltage. So I've proven that it's that component that's the problem. So I just need to replace that. So here it is again. I'll grab this manufacturer's part number and I'll paste it into Amazon. And we can see we can get 3 of them for $5.27. That's pretty cheap. Don't need more than one, but I got 3. And a couple days later, I see these coming in the mail. And I got to stick one on there, switch it out. So I didn't go get my nut driver. The driver was actually in the way to open the door to walk out to the garage to get. So, but I got it off with the pliers. And then I want another view here. I'm going to pull that out and switch out the new device. Fit exactly. No big deal there. That's all there was to it. It's all the testing and moving the dryer and all that stuff that takes the time. The fixing part took just that that few seconds. And I tightened this up for my camera cutoff. Anyway, let's give it a shot here. See what it looks like. Go down here, and remember we expected that igniter to turn orange, and there it starts to turn orange. So that's good. And then we expect the gas to kick on, and it did. So the flame's going, and we got heat for our dryer. So hopefully this was helpful for you. This is the way I did it. Not necessarily the way you would do it. It's not necessarily the right way, not necessarily the safest way, but it's just the way I did it. And we now have a clothes dryer that operates. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Have a good one.